And here we are for race 2 of round 3 of the 2014 Australian Institute of Motorsport Formula V New South Wales Championship.
In conjunction with the Clemenger International Freight. Okay, so starting on pole, which is the winner of race 1, is Kinsella from Timmy Brook, from Butcher, Darren Williams, Kieran Glover. Here they go.
And it's a slow start. It rained this morning and the track is soaking wet as Tim Brook, who got an awesome qualifying time in the first qualifying session on the Saturday morning, and they streamed through turn 1, sliding through the damp conditions.
Okay, so he's on board with Thomas for the start. That's Stevie Butcher on the left. He goes backwards. Darren Williams on the right.
They're all Formula Vs, aren't they? Formula Vs with the rain hitting the camera. Dylan Thomas. Dylan's usually on pole, but here he is in 4th position by the look of it.
Okay, so Thomas around the outside of Kinsella, finds a bit of grip in the damp conditions, goes to go look on the inside of Darren Williams.
Darren Williams in a great second place, but both Mick Kinsella and Darren Williams, they let Dylan go through on the inside of Tim Brook as Tim Brook wants ride.
So Thomas goes from 6th to 1st. Brookie fights back.
Here's another angle as they enter the corner. Look at Dylan Thomas make up all his distance on Tim Brook.
Timmy Brook goes plenty wide out
onto the concrete as well.
He's looking for the go-kart line, looking for the grip.
Now here we see who's got the lead. Looks like Tim Brook just gets the acceleration.
Yeah, but there's no grip in the wet on the inside there, so Thomas gets the grip coming out.
Oh, that's a good example of the more grip on the outside of a corner in wet conditions.
Okay, so does everyone get through turn 1 without spinning? Looks like it's a national field here. You can see the Beecham cars from Victoria there. There's one of them on cue.
That's
Stubbs.
Stubbs just loses it. Obviously, that much power in probably 3rd gear, or when he goes from 3rd to 4th.
That's Darren Williams in 3rd, Kinsella 4th. That's Kieran Glover 5th. That's Jason Williamson in Mark Williams is Jason in 6th.
And they run very wide this time through turn 5 on the first lap.
Still a little bit of drizzle there by the looks of things there.
We'll be able to call
Simon Pace a bit further back than we'd expect to see him, having a look up the inside of Jason Williamson.
Very wet conditions as they go through. They're not on the extended circuit that you can see in the background there. They keep going straight up to what's the original turn 8 corner.
Okay, so there's a gaggle of cars turning into turn 6 here. Look at them all.
Very tentative because there are just too many through there. There's a huge field of 32 cars this weekend.
You'd expect the Victorians to actually come forward in the rain here, since they've come from Victoria.
And
where
it looks like raining. Dylan Thomas has got the lead as he goes around the outside grippy, a part of the hairpin.
Yeah, taking a bit of local knowledge there in the wet conditions.
So I wonder where Dylan took the lead from Tim Brook. Tim Brook a long way back, so Thomas has made up 30 or 40 metres just in a few corners.
Where's Darren Williams gone? He was in 3rd before. He's back a bit there. He's got a little bit drift.
Williams obviously had to lose. Bad luck. So
bad luck, Dazza. Come back next time. Let's go. Thomas in at turn 10, 11, 12.
Right.
Next is Timmy Brook. Both these guys are fantastic wet drivers. There's Kinsella going with them, who can sometimes be a bit twitchy in the wet. So let's hope he keeps it together.
Kieran Glover in the famous checkmate. Paul Corcoran, John Kelchick, checkmate in the white car in 4th place.
Normally we see Benny Porter run in that car in this National Series, but National Series in conjunction with the AIM State Series. But he's got other commitments. Here's the Victorian cars, Heath Collishan and Mitch Quiggington.
As they go through, mate, there's just too many cars to score. Simon Pace well back.
Yeah, he's had another drama somewhere.
Simon's having dramas in the wet in that Mako.
There was Shane Purvis going through there. Stubbsy going up the inside of Jacob Andrews.
In that sky blue Sabre. Beautifully prepared cars by Beecham Racing.
And that's our current national champion that far back. He's had a horrid start to the whole national series.
All right, so they enter turn 2 on
Timmy
the
Brooks made some ground up on Thomas here. It's still there.
It's getting closer, but it's New South Wales 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and a New South Wales car 4th. But with
by a Tassie man.
A fabulous Kieran Glover, who's doing a fabulous job in the Australian Series this year.
A couple of cars wide here. That was
in the damp conditions.
Simon Thompson and
Shane Purvis ran wide.
It was actually Gary Hook with a new livery to look like the Beecham cars. Almost caught me out there.
Hopefully we'll get
Simon
a chance.
Duffy.
So what we need is a breather to be able to call each car individually here, but there are just too many cars.
Here's Jack Sewell together with his teammate Matty Stubbs.
That's the 2 cars at the back of that frame there. But Dylan Thomas running wide again to get through the grippier part of turn 4 that we can see there.
Okay.
But although
Darren Williams is still there, so he didn't have a big lose. He just lost a bit of ground.
Well, that's right, but he's not losing much ground through here. So I think they're all at about the leader's pace as they go through.
How good's Jason Williamson going? He hasn't raced for since the national title title at Wakefield, and he's just jumped back in and he's on the pace.
He's jumped into an unfamiliar car that he hasn't raced in years.
He's Butcher, pole position last round.
So, welcome Jason Williamson back to racing with us. We'd like to see more of you out here.
Okay, there's Simon Pace. He's a long way back. He's normally pretty good in the wet.
And he had a twitch and a big slide coming into that corner, so I'd say maybe that car's not set up for the wet as well as it is in the dry.
It looks like that was... I'm trying to see who that...
It's hard to see, isn't it, out there? But anyway, we can see Dylan Thomas leading on the exit of the hairpin, and that's Tim Brook in the Sky Blue F2K14 Jacer. And Michael Kinsella, Tasmania's
going wide.
Tasmania's Kieran Glover in 4th place.
Okay, Kieran Glover was a last-minute deal to get together for Mallala. It was actually Benny Porter that was going to be in the Mallala round, and the week of the event, Benny was unable to do it, and Kieran Glover was a last-minute call-in.
That's right, that was round 1 of the...
Jason Williamson up the inside of Stevie Butcher, but Butcher's got the outside line, which has got more grip.
Right, Clemenger International Freight is sponsoring the 2014 Australian Formula V National Series, and
has done for the last 5 years.
It has for the last 5 years. The first round was at Mallala in South Australia.
Shane Purvis goes through.
A couple of months ago, and here we are for round 2, and the final round will be at Phillip Island in a few months' time. That's Phil Oakes in the orange Sabre that's just raced through to take one position as they come onto the main straight.
He just went around the outside of Daniel Stein, who had a podium position last time out here.
Got to say a word about Phil Oakes. He got a fabulous second placing in qualifying the day before, but a tiny infraction had to put him to the back of the grid, and he took that on the chin. But that was a really fast drive by Phil to take a 1 minute 1 minute 46 qualifying time. Brilliant performance.
Jason Williamson looking up the inside of Darren Williams, who's right behind Stevie Butcher.
Right, of course, so Phil Oakes from Victoria. So
Simon Pace there, a long way back. Here comes, that looks like Simon Thompson. Shane Purvis coming through there.
They're just going too fast.
Gary
It's hard to tell who they all are, isn't it?
in that group.
Bruce Perry and Richard Jefford, I think, or Matt Pearce.
Okay, so here comes the Beecham cars there.
Simon Duffy,
Harrison.
Another Beecham car. The Beecham cars are the sky blue ones with the day glow.
Oh, but don't get confused because Hookie's now got a Beecham look to his car.
He does, but so they're not that close. Hopefully, except on the track, of course.
Okay,
first,
Thomas going inside line.
And there's Kinsella. Kinsella's made up. He's right on Tim Brook's tail through there.
Timmy Brook looked wide there, but he was actually trying to look for the grip on the outside, so it was an intentional wide, whereas Thomas went inside. Interesting. There's Heath Collison.
I might just cut over to Kieran Glover's performance. This is only the second race meeting he's ever done in that brilliant checkmate car.
And the first time he's ever been to this circuit, and first time in the wet in this circuit.
Exactly. So he's doing an awesome job to drive an unfamiliar car, and he won a number of heats at the first round in Mallala in what was then a very unfamiliar car. So this is an awesome job for him.
It is a very good job by him, but he did have a DNF, so he doesn't have his little bogey card in his hand, because you can drop your worst race in the National Series,
right?
As can you in our State Series.
Well, there's one more race for this round of the Clemenger International Freight Australian National Formula V Series this afternoon that we'll see a bit later on.
Okay, so Thomas is going wide there. You can see that's intentional, looking for grip. There's Timmy Brook, there's Kinsella, and see the smart thing that Kieran Glover's done here is he's just jumped onto the local guys, looked at what they're doing and following. Surprising there's not any Victorian guys any further up than about 7th or 8th with, it looks like it was Mitch Quiggin up there, followed by Heathy.
Right, but the Victorian guys, they only race at this circuit maybe once a year or once every 2 years, so again it's unfamiliar, and actually this could be the first race in quite a few years that the Clemenger International Freight Round has been in the wet up here.
Yeah, so, and okay, there's Bruce Perry goes through with Jeff Bennett. Next little group you got here. Oh, who's switched there?
That's another one of the... That's
Stubbsy.
Matt Stubbs.
And he's gone around the outside of Morgo. Excellent effort there. Don't see that sort of move too often. He's a bit brave, Matty Stubbs. Sometimes he's a bit stupid.
You wouldn't expect anything less of Matty, would you?
No, Matty's a great little racer. He's won the National Series, national title, as well as the State Series in Victoria. So does a fantastic job. Oh, who's wide out there? That's Butcher.
Now that is what you call wide.
Butcher was looking for some grip where no one else would look for it.
And where probably there wasn't any grip.
I mean, in fact, last last round out, Butcher was looking for grip quite a lot, but he had his belly of his car on the ground most of the time, so it didn't work too well.
Very hard to get grip when your back wheels are up in the air, isn't it?
Oh, is that Butcher out here again?
Again, he's out there on the concrete again.
Well, you got to give him marks for trying, but he has driven away from Jason Williamson and Darren Williams, and Mitch Quington has caught up to those two, and Heath's come with him.
Actually, great performance from Mitch and Heath because they actually have made up spaces.
And Simon's a long way back for the wet. He's normally fantastic in the wet.
Definitely struggling with the car setup, no doubt, in that fabulous looking maker.
Spinner!
Shane Purvis in the Sabre. And he just cut across the front of Bruce Perry and Jeff Bennett. And he's cut across the front of Jeff Bennett again.
He almost drove into the side of Jeff Bennett. Jeff Bennett might be giving him a little wave as he goes past.
That's a bit of excitement and entertainment that we love in Formula V.
The old Stinger one finger salute. Anyway, so here we go through. That was one of the Beecham cars, followed by... That's Peter McDonald there in the 1200. There's William Pym. So that would have been the lead car from the Beechams in the 1200. There's Richard Jefford.
Great view of Richard Jefford in that car. That's the 2013 Australian Institute of
Kinsella's looking racy here. Kinsella's going to have a look at... Timmy Brook in one. I wonder if he's going to get him.
Yeah, that orange Richard Jefford car is
still a lot of spray out there. Look at the spray coming behind these cars.
That's right. So lots of wet conditions.
Okay, so Mitch Quington is catching these two here. He's going to threaten these two guys.
Okay.
Is that a?
That's a Formula V, definitely.
No, that's Craig Spark.
Craig Spark, our rookie, top 10 driving rookie.
What's happened to him?
He's out of the race, unfortunately.
Okay, so that was, I think, Daniel Stein going up the inside of someone. Here's Jeff Bennett going up the inside of
Bruce Perry. That's Bruce Perry, must be a long way up. Great to see him up there.
Okay, so here's Thomas. Did Kinsella? No, Kinsella didn't have a dive at Timmy, but he's looking now. No, thinks better of it. And
look, those two cars in second and third.
So Timmy's not going the wide line now. He saw that he lost ground at Thomas last time and thought better go in the inside line.
But Tim and Kinsella in second and third have lost a bit of space back to the leader, Dylan Thomas.
Butcher's got a lonely race there. So here's Darren Williams taking... Oh, Mitch Quington up the inside of Darren Heath. He's off the track, but back on.
Right, Mitch and Darren, and with Jason Williamson just ahead in the blue and black Jacer.
Yep, okay, and here's Steiny going out wide. He's lost a bit of ground, and who's gone up the inside of him? Is that...
That's Hookie.
Hookie.
That's Gary Hook in his new sky blue and orange paint scheme. Well done, Hookie.
Okay, there was... I saw Pervo going through there. There's Simon Duffy.
And John
Craig Sparks was there. That was Craig Sparks. So he's come out of the pits and rejoined the field.
And it looks like Ken Philby. I think I saw Ken Philby in the leading 1200 car.
Okay, there's Jack Sewell with Lee Porter and Simon Cannon.
Right, it's worth just mentioning Ken Philby, who's leading the 1200 Clemenger International Freight Australian Formula V Series so far for this year.
By a margin.
By quite a margin. And if a couple of good performances today...
Wide. He looks like he's coming out of pit lane, Thomas.
A couple of great performances from Ken today, and he could lock that 1200 class win up for this year.
Well, he will, because none of the South Australian guys who ran in the first round actually came up here. So
he's got a good points lead, and it's looking good for you, Ken.
Okay, there's Jason Williamson coming out of pit lane by the look of it.
Actually, I didn't see him go into that corner. Where did he come from?
The car's quite camouflaged in these conditions.
Must be on the entry.
Black and blue. So, okay, so who have we got here? You got...
an orange car and a sky blue car and an orange car and an orange car and...
There's actually quite a few orangey, reddy sort of tinged cars.
A white car, and there's Shane Purvis in the blue and white and blue car, and another Beecham racing car.
Yeah, that was Stubbsy, because you can tell because he's got the red helmet.
And he must have been hanging the tail out as well, because he always does.
Yeah, he certainly does, sometimes.
Dylan Thomas, what a great performance. He's actually stretching his lead, but Tim Brooks got a bit of a comfort gap now, back to Michael Kinsella in third place there.
I don't know if you call it a comfort gap. There's a bit of a toe coming down the front straight.
It's more than a couple of metres.
Although Kieran Glover has made room up to him, and so has Butcher, so they're moving forward. These guys.
Kieran especially, he's obviously getting a bit more comfortable in these conditions.
So here's Jason Williamson with Mitch Quington doing the best of the Victorians, right on the hammer there. Darren Williams falling back a little bit.
Great performance from Mitch.
He's still doing a good job there.
Heath Collinson in the green and black Sabre, great performance as well.
They call him the Tomahawk.
Do they really?
Yeah, Tomahawk Steaks.
Is that not his hairstyle? Okay.
No, that's the Monohawk.
Okay.
All right. So he's starting with Gary Hook just behind him, and
have a look at that beautiful new paint scheme on that sky blue Jacer. It's awesome. Well done, Robin. We love it. Okay, Shane Purvis and Matt Stubbs both in Victorian Sabres, heading onto the main straight.
There's Morgo and Duffy and the whole ACT clan.
Right, yeah, there was Simon Duffy in his new chaser, and we should get a word in for Belcon and Blind sponsorship on his car as well.
Okay, so Kinsella is a little bit further down. There's Daniel Ryan.
Daniel Ryder. G'day, Daniel. Good-looking guy, mate. He should be in racing in a car. All right.
I think he's got a better head for radio, but anyway,
he does.
He's getting excited because Mitchie was having a look up the inside of...
I think the back of his head's probably better than the front. Sorry, Daniel, just kidding.
No argument
here. Okay, as they go down the straight.
All right, so there's Bruce Perry. There's Stubbsy going down the inside of Pervo, so someone will have a cheer about that.
You know,
not Pervo, though.
Although this is in the wet and the cars are sort of one after the other, but they're all going at high speed and the gaps are not really stretching or falling back much.
If you look here, Kieran Glover is much closer to this little group here now, so he could be threatening the pair of these guys of Kinsella and Timmy Brook.
Actually, I think I know why he's improving.
Put your tail out.
I think I know why Kieran's improving. Obviously, he comes from Tasmania, and Tasmania is not far off.
Here goes Mitchie. He's going up the inside of Jason Williamson here now.
Right, Tasmania is not far off the Antarctic coast, so it's snow and ice and blizzards in the middle of summer down there, so Kieran would be used to these awful conditions.
He would know what black ice looks like.
Exactly. All right.
Here's Simon Thompson. He's not doing too bad just off this front group of national guys.
Simon won the 1200 New South Wales Australian City Motorsport Series last year, and he's moved from as a 1200 class, so he's moved to a 1600, and this is his first 1600 race in the wet as well. Well, there was some dampness in the first round, but this track is flooded. There's nothing like these conditions, is there?
Oh, mate, it's flooded.
You can see the water streaming across turn 2 there.
Flooded.
Okay, here we go.
Here comes Duffy.
There's Duffy there leading this
flooded
pack through here in the flooded conditions. All right.
Okay, so and here comes another Beecham car here.
A fabulous
Jack Saul with Lee Porter. There's Bernie Cannon going up the inside of his son, Stevie Cannon.
Right, it's worth mentioning that there are three.
Look how wide they go. Look at the line that Thomas took around the outside there.
That's the flooded turn 4 that we can see as well.
Yeah, watch the stream there.
It's worth mentioning there are 3 Beecham racing cars here for this race. Race meeting.
You could argue that Gary Hooks looks like a Beecham car and just call it for a fourth one just for...
Yeah, but Gary Hook doesn't look like a Beecham driver, that's all. So that's the one thing out. But
no, he's in New South Wales, so at least he's got the right side of the map going. There's Jason Williamson looking for a bit of extra road. Darren Williams coming through. Heathy's going to have a look at Darren Williams here now. So Heathy's looking quite strong here. Go the Tomahawk.
Right, and these cars, they're all sort of keeping speed. Not the gaps are not stretching out or getting too close. So,
and surprisingly, Simon Pace hasn't made ground yet.
Well, Simon, obviously it's the car because we know Simon Pace can win the race as he did at the last round.
Yeah, Butcher's still taking a bit of extra road there, but not as much as he took earlier.
Like if he keeps going any wider, he'll probably just cut straight across from turn 9 onto the middle of the main straight.
That's not a bad little shortcut. That don't give him the idea. He'll probably do it. And might end up with his car bellied on the ground like it was last round.
He'll have to cross over the creek to do that, but I think if he keeps that speed, he'll fly over it without a trouble.
Well, the track's that wet, it's probably not that bad across the creek.
Yeah, I think the creek's flooded as well.
All right, so here comes Mitchie coming in front of Jason Williamson. Can Jason Williamson do anything about it?
He actually does close up on Heath Collinson here through turns 11 and 12 and now onto the main straight.
Heathy's back here.
Sorry, Mitch Quinton. I'll get him right.
Okay, actually, Simon is closer to this group here, so Simon is coming along.
There's not a lot of difference between red and green, and both cars have got black, so it's pretty hard to tell.
Yep, okay, so here's Simon Thompson. A little bit cautious in a 10 there, but not. Hopefully he gets a good run out here.
Well, he's cautious, but he's smooth, and that means he's fast as well.
And he's sort of a bit of a lonely battle, so he's not really threatening anyone. Here's a last round podium man, Daniel Stein coming through with Hookie, followed by also Jeff Bennett, who also got a podium last time out.
Phil Oakes there. Phil Oakes, yes, he's coming from the back of the field.
Stubbsy's actually moved a long way forward as well, so he's doing a pretty good job there. There's Alan Harrison coming just ahead of...
Great performance from Allison.
Simon Duffy. Is this Simon Duffy's first round for the year?
No, he raced earlier, I think, at the
club round.
At the club round, the non-state championship round. There's a great shot of Ken Philby there.
He's actually behind Matty Pearce there, so Matty Pearce is leading the 1200 series here. It's not series, 1200 race here.
Australian Institute of Motorsport 1200 championship. He's the leader for that championship as well so far.
There's Mick Reinhardt on the stage. So look at how much water's still coming up from here.
Yes, it's flooded down the main straight. actually, I think it is raining and the track is actually getting more wet.
Yeah, so it's certainly not drying out. There's definitely a big trail of water coming behind these cars. So going through turn one would still have quite a twitch going on.
Okay, and they're not backing off much as they turn into turn one here.
If you've got decent tyres on in the wet, you can just have a quick lift, turn it and get back on the gas and be pretty solid.
Right, another Drew Beecham and Greg Beecham racing car.
Okay.
That's the Sabre of Matt Stubbs going through there that we saw a second ago.
There goes Jacob Andrews going through. He's moving forward in the wet here. There's Lee Porter.
And there's Stephen Cannon behind his dad, Bernie Cannon.
They're topsy-turvy, the Cannon father-son. They one wins one. It's like they take turns. Your turn, my turn.
Well,
Kinsella up the inside of...
In the wet, and does he lock up? No, he does. Maybe there was a slight lock-up on the front, and
Does Timmy Brook go wide? No. He looks like he's held a nice tight line through there. And Kieran Glover's not close enough to make it a threat in the Kinsella there.
And there was Stephen Butcher still in back there in fifth place and catching up slightly, but certainly not falling back.
Okay, so Jason Williamson is not letting Mitchie get away, and Heathy's got past Darren. Where's Darren gone?
Darren's missing.
There's
Simon
Heathy.
Pace has gone through. There's Darren Williams.
So Darren must have had a moment somewhere because he was ahead of that little group there, and he's now fallen behind it.
I hope he didn't have a tank slapper through turn one because he was in a good position coming into turn one.
Tank slapper at turn one in the wet would never be a pleasant feeling, I can assure you.
And I was going to say something along those lines, but you said it for me, thanks.
Yeah, you might have to check the colour of your dry cleaning.
Something, yes. So,
all right, so here comes Phil Oakes doing a good job behind Gary Hook.
And that
Bennett.
was Jeff Bennett, and then another Beecham car, Bruce Perry in the white Spectre Sabre Aztec. That's what it is.
Would just be at the back of that little gaggle there. So Timmy Brook looks fairly strong through this little section, but he seems to get pulled up in some of the others. Oh, Thomas Wide. Looking for grip. Actually, there's a bit of grip on the concrete there, but Thomas missed the concrete and went...
And he went onto the grass. And
pit entry out of the second circuit.
Actually, the gaps there are sort of reducing, especially back to between Brook and Thomas. I think that's just a few metres chopping off that as each corner.
Okay, so can Darren Williams do something about Simon Pace? Because Simon Pace hasn't looked strong in this race, and Darren Williams has been ahead of him most of the race, except for some sort of indiscretion.
All right, well, here we are. The wet conditions are sort of... Everyone's taking it easy with just a lap or two to go,
going through. It's actually quite... It's a 7-lap race, so it shouldn't be...
Too far to go. I wonder if this is the last lap. I think it could be. We'll find out soon.
Okay, so there goes...
There's a good shot of Phil Oakes in the orange Sabre from Victoria.
You can see the streams of water on the inside, and then you can see the Brabham circuit kicking off to the right there. The New South Wales Australian Institute of Motorsport Series ran their last round.
Okay.
But this round we're running on the GP circuit.
Right.
Oh!
Actually,
who's that? That's Bruce
that's
Pearce
everyone.
getting out of the way. Bruce Pearce was just getting out of the way. So Bruce Pearce is getting lapped. That's about to spin.
That's in the orange Acer at the back of this short pack.
Yeah, so he did a good job just to get out of the way there and make sure he didn't interfere with the battle of the lead group.
Okay, if I can just throw in, we've been calling this circuit the GP circuit, and the reason for that is that the motorcycle Grand Prix, the 500cc motorcycle Grand Prix, were held on this circuit that we're watching the V's race on between 1990 right through to 1996. So we've called it Grand Prix ever since.
Okay, but it's actually called the Gardner circuit, so the correct terminology... Oh, they're both off the track here. So Mitchie actually went a bit wide there, and Jason Williamson has got a good little run here.
And here's a slipstream coming up we might get to see in a second.
Yep, okay, Darren Williams, he's... also using a fair bit. There is a bit of grip on that concrete. And
Darren knows to run wide around this circuit because I've raced with him and seen him do that, so he's got a good memory. Okay, we cut across back to the exit of turn 9.
So there's Steiny with a little margin over Gary Hook, who's got a very small margin.
And Phil Oakes in the orange Sabre just behind Gary Hook.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bennett just behind Phil Oakes in the orange Jacer.
It's hard to tell between those two orange cars if one passed one and another.
Exactly.
Okay, there's Stubbsy. So Stubbsy sort of hit a wall when he got to that point in the track.
Bruce Perry went through in the white Aztec.
In fact, Pervo's probably catching up on Stubbsy, so I think Pervo's probably a bit quicker than Stubbsy at this point of the race.
He will get a good look of Simon Duffy going through in the white.
There's Alan Harrison, there's Jacob Andrews. Here's the 21200s. Matty Pearce ahead of Philby.
Yeah, Philby's catching up, isn't he? That's great performance. He's getting used to these conditions.
One more lap.
Side by side.
Kinsella, he's got the run.
That's Kinsella and the Jace are on the inside of another Jace, Tim Brook driving.
Yep, and it's new versus the old Jace. Here's Mitchie and Jason Williamson. Jason Williamson did get the run and he's on the outside.
Side by side again through turn 1 in the wet.
And he's got the bigger coconuts going through 1 and into 2. Well, let's have a see.
Looks like there's Michael Kinsella there in...
So Kinsella didn't hold the line on the inside, but the outside had more grip there.
That's right, and he backed off. So Tim Brook in second.
So I wonder if Jason Williamson did get the run. Oh,
everyone's catching.
Butcher's all over this group
now. That's right. Stephen Butcher's catched up. He's the last car in that pack just going through.
Okay, so there's Mitchie. So Mitchie held out Jason Williamson, even though Jason went. So the inside worked for Mitchie, but the outside worked for Timmy Brook.
Right, Heath Collinson, the green and black Sabre from Victoria going through.
Okay, so as Darren Williams closed the gap down at Simon, probably not enough. I think unless Simon has a problem, I think Darren's not going to get there.
I'd say maybe these gaps are just unrealistically too far apart to be able to catch. So they
Simon Thompson's having a pretty lonely race there.
So they're just concentrating to stay on the track.
There's Daniel Stein
ahead of Gary Hook. This great performance of Gary Hook was, we can know Daniel Stein is a very fast driver.
That must be about 5 or 6 races in a row for Gary Hook that he's finished.
Yes, well, maybe that's got something to do with Chris Reynolds looking after the car now.
Oh, Timmy Brook, he's way out wide.
He's run wide, but he's still kept it on the track and kept his position.
He was looking for a bit more water in that river. Okay.
Tim must be happy. I hope they're all laughing inside their helmets because racing in the wet is just incredible fun.
It is great fun, but Butcher's all over this group here now, so this could be a pretty good sprint to the line here. Right, and Thomas is not broken away from these guys.
And Kieran Glover in the white checkmate there, we can see running off the track. The gaps are pretty close through there as well.
Actually, that's the second mistake on this lap here from Timmy Brook. So Timmy Brook's made 2 mistakes in this lap, so he's under a lot of pressure from Michael Kinsella here.
And it is all pressure, it can't be anything else. Brookie, you're the reigning state champion in 1600 class. You've got to, but you haven't raced against Mick Kinsella in the state championship round in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Kinsella's actually
he's a former state champion as well.
Yeah, and he's there you go. Look, he's gone to defensive line. So for the run to the line here, what's going to happen? We're going to look at the back here. Here's Mitch Quiggin still in front of Jason Williamson. Jason Williamson's done a fantastic job here in the wet.
Jason, this is a lease car, and Jason hasn't raced with us for a couple of years, so he's just hopped in this car, and here he is in the top 10 without even trying.
With a national field.
That's exactly right. With
in front of the national champion.
There's Darren Williams. He's falling back now. They're just taking it easy with him.
Well, I don't know if he's falling back or if he's just gone, let's take a bit of safety.
Exactly. That would be why, and why that's a smart thing to do.
Yep, and there's Simon Thompson coming through, also quite safely through the final little series of corners there.
All right, we'll see what the leading pack of cars is doing pretty soon.
Okay.
Again, Hookie's losing nothing to Daniel Stein. Phil Oakes is losing nothing to Hook. Jeff Bennett's losing nothing to Phil Oakes. Matt Stubbs is losing nothing. They're all losing nothing.
For an exciting race, it's almost quite processional in that little group there.
Yeah, Shane Purvis is losing nothing. I bet you
inside their cars, they're not thinking anything but processional. Duffy's fallen off a bit from that little bit of that group, or is he pulled away from Al Harrison and Jacob Andrews? Look, Matty Pearce is still in front of Ken Philby here.
Ken Philby, yeah. I think they're all just being really realistic now.
Is that Morgo? Morgo's fallen a long way back.
Morgo Fremantle, he's been rather anonymous in this race.
And Jack Sewell, also having a fairly quiet race. Also, one of the.
And here we go, the race. Dylan Thomas.
Winner, coming chicken dinner.
Kinsella. Who came second, third, or fourth, or fifth, or sixth there? I don't know.
Kinsella got him, and Jason Williamson got Mitchie as well.
Brilliant driving. There's Phil Oakes, and then Gary Hook, and then that was Daniel Stein.
That was Bruce Pearce being lapped.
Oh mate, I don't know.
Darren Williams.
Too many orange cars, but we'll find out.
Simon Thompson.
Now there's Phil Oakes and Gary Hook.
There's Phil Oakes now.
That's right. And Jeff Bennett and Daniel Stein, and both of them. I don't know which order.
And there's Stubbsy, and there's Bruce Perry, and here comes. That's
Shane Purvis. Well done,
and there's
guys.
Duffy.
That good run from Simon Duffy.
And here comes
Alan Harrison with a run from
Jacob Andrews. Matty Pearce wins the 1200.
Right, so to the grid: Dylan Thomas, Michael Kinsella, Tim Brook, Kieran Glover.
So Butcher caught up. Jason Williamson did get Mitch Quiggin, and Heafy brought it home solidly in 8th.
They're the 1600 cars and the 1200 cars. Matthew Pearce just pipped Ken Philby. Ken Philby is the new 1200 Australian Formula V Clemenger International Freight Series. Well done, guys.